All right, what's up, everyone? This is going to be the first episode of a Giants podcast. We're hoping to do it either weekly or twice a week. I'm Summoning Salt, and my co-host here is a good friend of mine, JustAlex.
Hello. All right, so should we just get started?
Yeah, let's do it. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to go over the most recent series the Giants played and then talk a little bit about the team. Just sort of cherry pick a couple of players and talk about them, and then who we think's playing well and who isn't. But yeah, to start it off here, the Giants had a 2-game series against the kind of surprisingly good Oakland A's, and they split it. They won 8-2 and then lost 1-0 last night. So I guess we could start here with the first game, 8-2.
Yeah, it was the Rodon game.
Yeah,
I've been like really surprised by how good he's been. like,
you,
he had like was it the strikeouts in the first 4 games or something? The most for any Giants player.
yeah, most strikeouts in the first 4 games for a Giants player to start the season. Yeah, no, I mean, he's been everything you could ask for. We're getting him, we're paying a decent price for him, but it's obviously it seems like he's worth more than that by a lot. So another, Farhan, not really a fleece because we didn't trade for him, but
Yeah,
smart signing.
yeah. I mean, he's so. I feel like he's so different compared to everyone else on the staff. It's just kind of interesting to see how he approaches a lot of these hitters compared to like where a lot of the guys like Webb or Cobb, they're going for contact most part.
Yeah, he's an inverse Tim Lincecum, where he had like kind of the crappy start to his career, and now he's in his 30s and he's like superstar all of a sudden.
Is he 30 yet? I think he's like 29 or
Yeah, he
something.
might not quite be. Let me see. Yeah,
29, that's like prime career.
Yeah, he's 29. So, but yeah, he's just starting to get heated up. Like looking at his stats, the first few years with the White Sox, his ERA was over 4 like every year. Yeah, turned it around. But anyway, this first game against the A's, they won 8-2. Just all around like a really good performance. Like the offense was rolling. Belt, couple of hits. Flores was kind of the hero of the game with a homer and a double. And then Luis Gonzalez still getting it done after his 2001 heroics, come back from retirement and killing it.
Yeah, it's the only sour part was the what was it again? I know that was yesterday. I'm thinking it was a Jock, getting hurt, but
Right?
yeah,
Yeah, that was Jock.
but yeah, the Wilmer Flores game, I guess he almost had 2 home runs. It just hit the top of the wall at his first one.
Yeah, just highlighting Wilmer Flores a little bit. Very dependable player. I think pretty much no matter what this year, his OPS is going to end between 750 and 850. Like he's very consistent throughout his whole career. That's where his OPS is ranged around. A little streaky at times, but like in the end, he always balances it out. And yeah, he's fan favorite wherever he goes. It's pretty cool.
Solid like role player you could say with those kinds of stats. Yeah, he's pretty much been the same player like every year.
Yeah, pretty much. Bullpen once again, really good in that first game. Dominic Leone, like I feel like there's a regression incoming from last year. I don't think he's necessarily a 1.5 ERA sort of guy, but then yeah, like after him, you had Junior Marte coming in. He's been really good so far, and then Kervin Castro closed it out. So you got Gabe Kapler kind of using the lower leverage situations to his advantage to use these guys.
Yeah, they've been the whole bullpen's been pretty solid all so far. And yeah, the one thing about Leon is like last season was so much better than he's ever done. It's like I don't see him ever doing it again either.
So what do you see from him this year? Like if you had to pick a number for his ERA, what do you think it would be?
I'd say it'll be like 3 something. I don't see it being in the twos, like because he's just had some not like terrible outings, but he hasn't had the same kind of sharpness, I guess, to start off the season.
So yeah, he's had a very up and down career. Pulling up his stats. So first year, rookie in Seattle, 2.17 ERA, and then next year 8.40. The next year 6.33, and then the next year is 2.56. So he's kind of been all over the place his whole career. Like you can't predict one year to the next.
Yeah, I was gonna say it almost looks like he's an odd year pitcher, but 2015 kind of takes that out of the equation.
Yeah. Well, we could use some odd year BS around here. So that would be good. But yeah, like he got Junior Marte. I hope he's here to stay. Kervin Castro. I hope he's here to stay. Junior Marte kind of like coming out of nowhere, being really good.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Like, I wonder, I haven't looked too deeply, but there's probably a lot of AAA guys that, you know, most people don't know about, but they could really have a role in this team.
Yeah, well, I mean, Kervin Castro, we knew was coming back. Like we knew he wasn't staying the River Cats for long. But yeah, any other standout performances or anything to mention about that first game?
I guess not exactly about the first game, but I'd say so far to this season, I maybe want to talk about Joey Bart.
Yeah, well, I mean, in that game, I think it's relevant to bring it up because like I'm looking at the Giants scorecard, it's like pretty much everyone got a hit, save a couple people, and then Joey Bart at the bottom, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's striking out a ton so far. Like that, it kind of was the same with his like 2020 season, but it looks even worse to start the season. So I don't
Yeah,
know. It's kind of worrying, I guess.
he's a high strikeout guy, and he's always probably going to be. Before this season, he had struck out in about 35% of his plate appearances, which I mean, that's like if you do that your whole career, you're going to destroy the all-time strikeout record like by a mile. And this year it's 50%.
Oh gosh, yeah,
He's
50%
striking out
is. Oh man.
every other time he comes to the plate. Like it's yeah, I mean you can be a successful player if you strike out a lot, Adam Dunn, great example of that. But you need something to go with it. And right now his power isn't really there. Like you could tell there's flashes of it, but we haven't seen it in several games now. And his
Yeah.
batting average is just it's really bad. And you can go ahead. But there's something else I want to mention about his batting average too.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely seems like for now he's either hitting a home run, getting a walk, or striking out.
Yeah,
There's not much in between with him right now.
3 true outcomes to the extreme.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when your his batting average is 158, which obviously that's bad. But yeah, a lot of times if your batting average is low, you could just be getting unlucky. And you look at your BABIP to see that. But his BABIP is 308. So really, he hasn't been getting unlucky. He's just striking out an enormous amount. It's concerning.
Yeah, because if he's not making any contact, then I don't know how you can rely on him in like high leverage situations where they need a run or something, and he's hitting ninth. It's not like he's still not doing anything. So
Promising start at the very beginning, but
yeah.
lately it's been sketchy. Anyway, I think move on to game 2. Game 1 was great, 8-2 victory. Happy.
Let's look at nothing.
Yeah, second game. I don't I'll let you start with this one. What do you think about game 2?
I mean, that whole game was honestly pretty, not, I wouldn't say boring, but like
I would say boring.
almost nothing happened because like Pinder hit the home run and that was the only run scored. I felt like, especially for the Giants, like nothing was going on at all because they got a few rallies, but then double plays would just end them immediately. So
yeah, so Giants lost 1-0. Only run was a first inning homer by Chad Pinder who was like a don't want to say a bench player or anything for the A's, but he wasn't like a superstar. But now that all of their good players have left, he's like their star player, like one of their star players. It's pretty funny.
It's
But
like
yeah,
him and Piscotty are like their
yeah,
name guys now at this point.
yeah. It's the A's are a mess. But
I
anyway,
guess I guess Elvis Andrews too, but
that's so bad if Elvis Andrews is like your star. But anyway, they got it done. They got their one run across, and the Giants. We were talking on Discord last night. You were saying how they looked like a tired team,
yeah.
and I mean, this is probably ignorant of me, but I feel like that is a lot more likely to affect your pitching rather than your batting because they just looked lost out there, I would say, more than tired. And that's okay. The end of a long streak of games, that's fine. But yeah, not a pretty performance to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of just said that because um, some of the guys who have been producing the most over that little road trip were really quiet,
Yeah.
like Belt, um, Flores went 0 for 4.
Yeah.
Um, Ruff, who's been struggling for a while now, went 0 for 4 again.
Is it time to talk about Darren Ruff?
I think it is. I mean, I know I'm not saying that these people are right, but I'm already seeing people like, oh, DFA Ruff, on Twitter.
Yeah,
And
of
I
course
wouldn't
not.
do
That's
that
never
right
gonna
now.
happen.
But
There's
I'm
no
just
way.
saying, like, it's gone to that point where fans are like, well, overreacting fans are done with him. So at least there's a little bit of a struggle there.
Yeah. So I love Darren Ruff. Like you heard me all these last couple of years, I'm always talking about how they need to play Darren Ruff more because he's been like a platoon guy, but not even always a platoon guy these last couple of years. Like they've been giving him a lot of rest days and days off. And despite that, he's a 900 OPS guy, which is maybe not superstar level, but like very, very, very high quality level player. And they finally pushed him into the starting role. I think he started all but one or maybe two games this year. And now his OPS is 446. So that's really bad.
To be honest, I think a little bit of that was the unluckiness for like the first few weeks. But then lately it's kind of just been poor contact hitting into double plays and stuff like that. But
Yeah. The
it might
start of the
also
year,
be the fact that he's seeing a lot of righties, and maybe he just hasn't gotten a chance to face a lefty to really like lefties very often to really like get back into his groove. I don't know.
so last year, Darren Ruff against righties. So he's a righty, so he is weaker against righties, but his OPS against righties was still 824 last year.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's really the issue for him. There's a couple things to look at for him. First off, in those early games, his power was there. It was just he would hit it like 5 feet from the wall and then it would be caught or something. Like he was definitely getting unlucky, and his numbers do reflect that. His BABIP is 208, so that will definitely come up. So you could probably add 50 points to his batting average at least just from getting better luck. But also his strikeout rate and walk rate are pretty much entirely in line with where he was at last year. And last year he had a 900 OPS. So yeah, his strikeout rate's actually lower than last year. His walk rate is a tiny bit lower. So I really think he's going to turn it around. I think I have a lot more faith in Darren Ruff than most players on the team if they're going through a slump. I like that Kapler is continuing to play him. I think it's probably good that he took him out of the 3 spot because we don't need the rally killing weak ground outs every time or strikeouts. But yeah, I think he's going to turn it around. Do you have confidence in him?
I think he'll get his average up. I don't really know like if he's gonna get too close to last year, to be honest, because like we've kind of been seeing from all over the league, right, with all these lower offensives, like there's just a lot less offense around the league, and maybe he'll be a major. He'll be really impacted by that. I don't know.
Yeah, like he's probably not going to be a 900 OPS guy, but in the eights, I could totally see that. Clearly, he still has power. I know that the last few games it really hasn't been there, but his hard hit rate it's still like 42%, which is quite a bit lower than last year, but it's pretty close to where he was in 2020. And in 2020, he still had 887 OPS. So, I mean, I got faith in my man, Darren Ruff. He's going to turn it around and prove the haters wrong. But we got to wait and see because right now it's ugly.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's look at someone else here.
Just on the positive side, the god himself, Jacob Junis.
Oh yeah.
Hello. What the hell did he come from?
When I saw the Giants got him like in the offseason, I was like, oh look, some depth.
Yeah.
You know, he'll be like another long reliever, I guess, or maybe a depth starter.
Yeah, like Sammy Long.
He's pretty much been like the best person they could have asked for so far in his 2 outings.
Yeah. Do you guys remember Giants Nationals NLDS 2014, that 18 inning game where they just had Petit come in, Yusmeiro Petit come in to pitch like 6 innings scoreless? That's basically in relief, like 6 scoreless relief innings. That's basically been Jacob Junis in the 2 games he's appeared in. He's pitched 10 innings of relief in 2 games. He has struck out 10 batters, walked only 1, given up 7 hits and no runs. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is that he didn't exactly face the toughest of teams, but he didn't still have to face Soto in that time against the Nationals. So
he did. Yeah, no, he's not facing the Mets of the leagues, but I mean, yeah, it's another one. It's like a Farhan find where it's like, okay, who the heck is this? And then they're going out there performing like above average, like a lot above average. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be like a starter, but with the injuries we've been seeing, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
He practically has been a starter with these coming in like the second inning and pitching like 5 or 6 innings,
Yeah.
It's pretty much like a starter, but it's been good so far. So
Yep. And then the rest of the relievers that game, the 3, traditional guys that you want to be like your 3 shutdown closers, Jake McGee, Tyler Rogers, Camilo Doval, they all pitched a scoreless inning last night against the A's. I am feeling good about McGee and Rogers, and Doval, I have some, hesitations with him still because he doesn't look like the same guy he was last year, but his numbers do look good, like 2.89 ERA. But are you concerned about him too, or what do you think?
Yeah, so the first thing I noticed in his first outing of the season was that his velocity was down. And for someone like him, that's kind of an issue because when he's got that slider working and he's throwing in the hundreds with his cutter, basically, like that's so deadly. When you lose a couple miles an hour on that cutter, it's a little easier for guys to catch up to it when they're looking for the slider first. So it's definitely something we should look out for.
Yeah, his velocity dropped, and we saw the first outing, it was like, instead of 99 100, it was like 97. And I thought, okay, first outing was a shortened spring training, whatever, but it hasn't gone up really from what I've seen. That's what's been a little concerning, is that it seems like it's just lower now by 3 miles an hour. And like you were saying, it's still fast, but what made him so good was the comparison with that to his slider. And when it's, closer in velocity, it's just going to be less effective. And it's what we've seen so far. He's not striking as many guys out, and they're hitting him a little harder, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think a little bit of it could just be mechanics. It's just I heard something on from the broadcast, like they were talking about, they kind of want him to slide step with his pitches more, so that he's from the mound to home like a lot faster, so runners don't steal as often on him.
Yeah.
And that definitely can affect your mechanics and your velocity. But I don't know. Even when no one's on base, he still kind of had a lower velocity, so it's still definitely concerning.
Speaking of guys stealing on the Giants, what are your thoughts on Joey Bart behind the dish throwing guys out? Because he did a great. He threw one guy out, and it looked like they had no chance of getting him, and he just threw a dart to second base, and I can't remember who it was.
It was the
But
Mets, right? Marte.
uh, yeah, that's right. It was Mar. He threw Marte out of all
Yeah.
guys.
But
But
then
other than that,
yeah,
he's not looking too good back there throwing guys
every
out.
other throw has just had like this tail on it that just the
Yeah.
guys end up missing it and it goes into center field and the runner ends up on third. It just I think both times the runner scored from it. But
Yeah. It looks like in golf, right? When you slice your shot, it just like
yeah.
tails off. Yeah. So,
Actually, no. The other one where it happened, it was the A's game, right? And they picked off the guy on first, and then Junis got out of the inning.
right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it didn't hurt him for that one, but it did hurt him in the Mets series or wherever it happened. It might have been the Guardians, but I don't
Yeah,
remember at this
no.
point.
I mean, look, he is still he's gonna develop. I don't think it's time to be like red alert with him or anything, because yeah, it's a long season. It's only we're like what 20 games into it, not even 19 games into it. But um I will say I was so excited for him after the first 7 or 8 games. It's like, dude, who cares the Posey's gone? We got Joey Bart. And yeah, it's been a regression. And I hope that now he's like over regressed and now he's gonna come up. But yeah, I mean there's some stuff defensively and offensively you gotta figure out.
Yeah, definitely. Because I feel like he hasn't hit the ball hard in 2 weeks. I mean, that might be an exaggeration, but that's just how it feels when you watch.
Yeah, just the swings and misses, man. It's oh my god. Um, yeah, a couple more players I just want to briefly touch upon. Tyro Estrada. I would love to hear just like what you think about him. Just all day second baseman. He started every game.
I mean, personally, I really like him. I know, like, based on his stats, he isn't necessarily doing like that great. Um, but he's had like a few games where he just goes off, like the one against the Guardians and
Mhm.
stuff like that. Um,
Yeah, so he great defensively. He looks really good out there. Offense, obviously, second basemen aren't supposed to be, like tearing the cover off the ball every time they're out there. So his OPS plus is below 100. It's 95, 661 OPS. But the only I like him, but the only hesitation is just knowing that we have so many other options once people are healthy. Like Tommy La Stella, I think Giants fans don't necessarily know like how good Tommy La Stella kind of is. Because I'm also an A's fan, which is pretty unpopular opinion to be like both an A's and a Giants fan. But like I watched him, in Oakland in 2020, and
yeah,
he looked like the best hitter on that team for the half season he was there. Pretty much, when he's on, he's a solid 800 OPS guy with at least I would say like average looking defense. And if you get that from your second baseman, like 800 OPS with decent defense, that's killer. That's so valuable. And I hope Estrada can get there, because that's kind of where he was at last year, and he's looked good but not great this year. But the fact is, the Giants, once people are healthy, they're gonna have options at second base. So
yeah.
um,
I like last season with La Stella, like he had his moments, but then he'd also have like huge cold spells. And I think maybe that just might have been the fact that he got hurt for so many games
mhm.
this season, coming into this season, he's not ready yet. So I don't know.
Yeah, injuries have definitely hurt him. Um, All right. So one last thing I want to talk about, and then if you any other topics you want to bring up, you can go right ahead. But
Right.
DeSclafani and Cobb coming back from injuries, hopefully soon. Do you
Yeah.
expect they're gonna, pick it up where they left off and maybe not be
Well,
great, or do you think they're gonna, turn it around?
okay. With Disco, I mean, he hasn't even looked that good to start the season. I think it might have been because of the ankle that he's looking at now, and he's
Mhm.
resting on. But like, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get the same guy that began the season last year. Just don't know if that's gonna happen. And as for Cobb, like, I liked what I saw from what he had all the way up until he got hurt. Like,
Yeah.
he's been really good for the Giants. So I hope he can come back and just pick up right where he left off.
Yeah. I have some faith in DeSclafani. He I I th- I'm going to be an optimist and assume that most of his struggles have been from the fact that he was injured, because I believe he was playing through it more or less, and it really flared up, and that's why he's out now. But yeah, the guy, he had a 608 earned run average in 3 starts. 1,800 for his whip, 1.8, which is obviously not good at all. His FIP wasn't bad, 375, but yeah, I mean, I think this guy's going to turn it around. I think, the cheating lab in San Francisco, they did their work with him last year. I think he's probably not going to be like, let me check his earned run average last year. It was 317.
317. Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to get quite that low, but I really think he's going to be under 4 by the end of the year. And then for Cobb was like, he kind of reminded me of Alex Wood, where first time or two through the order, he was like unhittable. And then the more people saw him, they kind of figured him out a bit. But yeah, like his earned run average wasn't great, 482, but FIP was 0.72 and his whip was like 1.286,
Yeah, I
which are
mean,
both fine. Um,
from what I remember from that Mets game where the runs were scored against him, like he got pretty unlucky with just grounders down the line. Like they
yeah,
weren't hitting him like really hard.
yeah, yeah. No,
So
I mean, I think they're both gonna turn it around. It's just it's it's gonna be ridiculous if our healthy rotation is Webb and Rodon and Wood with how good they've been, and then if Disco and
yeah,
Cobb turn it around, like, oh my god.
yeah, and all the depth that they acquired like in the offseason is besides them, like
Yeah,
this rotation could be really good, even if some of the bottom half guys may need to miss time, which they already are now.
yeah. Yeah. All right. Any other topics you've got?
Um, I don't know. I kind of like talking about prospects, but maybe we could save that for another time.
How about you could pick like one or two? Just
Right.
we'll touch on it now. Then maybe next episode we'll go
Um,
over it a little more.
so I kind of want to talk about Kyle Harrison
Kyle
because
Harrison. All right, what do you got?
because he had a rough start like last week, but I think his most recent start he was lights out again. Maybe not lights out, but he was really good. And he started the season really good. And I just want to see what your thoughts on him is, like probably our possible future ace or something, like him and
So
Bednar.
yeah, Kyle Harrison. He's pitching a high A right now in Eugene. He was in San Jose last year. He's 20 years old, and he strikes guys out. I mean, right now he's striking out 17.2 batters per 9 innings, which is it's video game numbers. I mean, he's like striking out 2 people per inning on average. It's ridiculous. Is yeah, ERA 3.27 is pretty solid. Admittedly, like I haven't watched him pitch very much, so I don't know like how he looks versus his stats here. But just looking at him, I mean, his walk rate's low, his strikeouts are unbelievably high. Um, it looks like he's gotten unlucky with his defense. Like he's given up a lot more unearned runs, but like that doesn't matter at all. So yeah, I mean, he looks fantastic so far.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a MLB comp, but to be honest,
If
I haven't thought about that really.
if Aroldis Chapman from 5 years ago was a starter,
Really?
I'll go with that.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I'm excited, but the pitching prospects that like are top of the line for the Giants are definitely a few years away. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, they're young because Harrison is probably our best pitching prospect, right? And he's 20 years old. Like
Yeah.
he's got a few seasons.
Bednar might go up faster because he is a year older, but he started in San Jose, so who knows?
Yeah, no, it'll be that Eugene team in general is pretty stacked.
Yeah, Luciano and Matos up there.
Yeah, no, Luciano. I mean, we will talk about them more next time, but
Yeah.
Luciano's off to a really solid start too. So,
All right.
all right. Guess we'll wrap it up. Next time we'll talk about how the Nats series went, or maybe the Dodgers. I don't know when we're gonna record the next episode, but yeah, we'll talk about what comes up next. I guess just really quick predictions for this Nats series. How do you think it's gonna go?
Is it a 3-game or a 4-game?
It's 3.
All right. I think based on what I saw last time, they don't really like Soto's really the only one who really scares me on that team.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really see them getting more than a game, and I don't really think they can get a game. So I'll say another sweep.
They're sweet. I want to look up who's pitching.
Yeah.
Probable pitchers. Let's see. So let's see here. Okay, so this will be fun. So first game's Friday. It's going to be Aaron Sanchez, our good friend, against Alex Wood. I mean, easy win right there, you'd think, right? Aaron Sanchez looked like crap.
Yeah, they faced him when they played last time.
Yeah, and they hit him pretty hard.
Yeah, what happened to I don't really follow the Nationals. What happened to Strasburg? Where
Injured,
is
right?
he? Is he still hurt? I feel like he's had most of his career injured.
Oh, it's okay. It says he's ready to face live hitters again.
Oh.
So he's working on it. He's gonna build back up.
I feel like I haven't seen him in forever.
Yeah, no, he was he was a huge prospect when he came up, 12 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's had a good career, but last couple of years he's really barely pitched at all. So yeah, okay. So that's Friday. Saturday it's gonna be Adon. I don't know how to say his name, against Logan Webb. And Adon's ERA is 6.98 and Webb's is 2.96. So I mean, I'd be surprised. You never know with Wood, like in his outing, but those are probably both wins, you'd think.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, I think it's going to be Josiah Gray for the Nationals, who's actually been decent. And it's going to be a bullpen game, I think, for the Giants, unless who's sooner to come back, Disco or Cobb,
Cobb for sure. I mean, they said he was close.
Okay.
Disco's still got like almost 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay. So yeah, Cobb then I guess could go Sunday, see what happens, but that would be either bullpen or Cobb versus Josiah Gray. So yeah, I'm gonna say torn. I'll say 2 out of 3.
Yeah. I mean, Gray was the one the Nationals, like one of the guys the Nationals got in the Trey Turner trade, right?
I don't remember.
I think it was
sounds right.
I think it was Gray and like their catcher.
Yeah, they got him. You're right. Yeah, it looks like he was very solid minor leaguer, and he hasn't made an incredible transition to the big leagues yet, but 4.05 ERA and 4 starts this year, which is better than most of what the Nationals have been doing. So yeah. So yeah, I'll say 2 out of 3. I think they'll either lose the Wood game. Well, but they're playing. The Nationals pitchers are really not good.
Yeah, and their bullpen didn't look great either.
Yeah. No, sweep. It's a sweep.
I'd be surprised if they drop the Wood start or the Webb start. Maybe if the Sunday one's a bullpen game, maybe they'll lose that one. But I don't know. I don't want to sweep.
Our bullpen's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. If you have Jacob Junis going out pitching 5 shutout again, like every time.
He's probably not pitching like this series because he just went 6 innings or whatever, 5 innings.
Well, I mean, he went 5 innings on yesterday. That was Wednesday, and he'll have 4 days rest, and then Sunday if they need him. I think he could go.
Well, maybe he will. Then
We'll
I'm
see.
really just excited for the Dodgers series. I just want to
Yeah,
see
that will be
see us
fun.
play them.
That'll be a fun. We should record another one like Sunday or Monday. It'd be a fun series to preview. But anyway, we'll
Yeah.
figure it out. Yeah. Any last closing thoughts?
Well, I'm just excited for this weekend and next week, and hopefully we'll be able to have more stuff to talk about, especially with guys who have been slumping. Maybe they'll turn it around by then.
Yeah, hope so. Get that Darren Ruff hype train going again. Anyway, all right, everyone. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon. So stay tuned. Subscribe.